So we've got some real ideas that have meat on the bones. You want to know another idea? How many of you are fed up with seeing budgets that are supposed to be on time in April 1 going into August, September, or October?
Amen.
Why does that happen? There's no need for that to happen. Why do I say that? Because in Nassau County, or Suffolk County, or any of your town governments, here's what happens. The executive or the supervisor or whoever, an executive branch puts in the budget. The legislative branch has a few weeks or months to tinker with it, change it, leave it alone, whatever. If they don't do their thing within 2 months, the buzzer goes off and time is up. And then the executive's budget takes effect. Wouldn't it be so simple, so commonsensical to just follow that same concept in Albany? The governor puts in his budget in January. They have till March 31st to change it. If they don't, the governor's budget takes effect. Done. Never again a late budget in the history of Suffolk County, in New York State. It's done with a simple thing like that. But common sense does not always prevail. You know what else we have to do? We have to spur private investment. Because it's the private economy, through economic development, that will get us out of this recession. It's not the government, it never is. It's private jobs, it's private investment, which is why part of my plan also would include a temporary waiver, complete waiver of capital gains tax for venture capitalists who invest in New York State. You will bring in more money into your coffers with that waiver because you will encourage people to make investment back into this state. So, look at that plan. Compare it to what other people are talking about. And you'll realize there's no contest. This race started off as a coronation. Nobody's saying that anymore, are they? Last week, I made an announcement that I'm running for governor. And you'll see within this packet just some of the editorials that we're receiving as a result of my candidacy. They're not coming forward and making an endorsement yet. It's too early, but they're saying, thank God there's someone with some juice, someone with some insider's knowledge who's coming from the outside to change this place. A guy who will lay it all on the line and is not afraid to tick off some special interest. This is going to be interesting. Let's see how other candidates react to this. Because I'm telling you, several years ago, when there was an attorney general who was very popular at whatever, 70, 60% in the polls and a lot of money, everyone said it was a coronation, and it was. But this year is different. Because 4 years ago, we weren't quite on the verge of bankruptcy as we are today. People are going to be asking a lot more questions today. The only thing they want to know is who is that one guy, or gal as the case may be, who we can hire to save us from fiscal insolvency. They're going to want someone who's been a fiscal manager, an executive, who has taken on a union, who has a real plan to reform the pension system, who knows how to deal with the budget and get the job done. That's why I think our chances are quite formidable this particular year. But let me just veer off into one or two more things, and then I'll wrap it up, because there's other people who have to speak, and I do have to get off to that personal matter. Let's get off the fiscal matters for a minute, and let me tell you about how proud I am to be an American. And how proud I know I make my dad in now being in a position where I could run for the highest office in this land. My mother and father were both first generation. My grandparents on one side came in from Italy about turn of the century. The other side from Alsace-Lorraine, dirt poor. My parents worked themselves up. As you can tell, started in Brooklyn. With this accent. A little bit of Queens, kind of a mixture there. In 1969, they packed up the station wagon and they drove out as far as they could on the LIE, and it stopped at exit 60 at the time, around Holbrook. They got themselves a quarter-acre plot, 3 kids, place you can go out and play in the backyard, nice local school. That was the American dream. They saw one become a teacher, one become a medical doctor, and one, I'm the black sheep, I went into politics, But that's what it's all about. This country gave us that opportunity. And, you know, I was at giving a speech about a month ago, and I talked about how proud I am to be an American and how I think we truly are the good guys in the world. And you wouldn't believe some of the ridicule we got from the media elite and some of the academic elite. Oh, you know, what is this nonsense babble this guy's talking about? But they didn't really hear him. What I was talking about, I made reference to when I was in college, and I had a professor who said, you know, in the world of international politics, there's no good guys or bad guys. There's just national self-interest. And I said, well, you know, tell that to my uncle who was at the Battle of the Bulge, that he wasn't fighting the bad guys, you know. Tell some mother who wants her daughter to be educated under Taliban rule that there's no such thing as good guys or bad guys. Tell someone living under Hugo Chavez's regime that there's no good guys or bad guys. Go to China and try to Google something and tell me there's no such thing as good guys or bad guys. We're the good guys, folks. Okay? We're not perfect. We're not perfect. We have our flaws, but history is going to record that we were the beacon of freedom. And now we're in another fight as well.
Tell that to Obama.
Well, I'll tell you something. When I see people always blaming America, it disturbs me. You know, the blame America first crowd. I mean, we have our problems, but we are still the beacon of freedom, and we have this system which enables us to eradicate our flaws. And when I see people say that we should fight our, the terrorists abroad by putting the CIA on trial, they're missing the boat. You want to win the war on terror? You know, take the terrorists, put them on trial in a military tribunal, not a civil tribunal. You know, that's somewhat tangential. It's not directly on link with what New York is all about, but it tells you something of what I'm about. Now, some of you folks who are outside Suffolk County, you'll know me as a fiscal hawk, but many will know me also about, you know, my stance on just for law and order. You know what I'm talking about, Nick. Mr. Nicolosi. You know, oh, well, isn't that the guy who's against illegal immigration? You know, it's not what I'm all about. Make a career out of it. I've had probably 1,000 press conferences in my day, and maybe 4 press releases have been on this issue, but I don't run away from it either. You know, I think I represent the views of almost 90% in this room and 90% in the country, whether they're Democrat, Republican, Independent, black, white, or Hispanic. I think we all feel the same thing. It's too easy in this country to get here illegally, and it's too hard to get in here legally. They have to flip it around the other way, right? And all we say is, you know, you want to come here, just do it the right way. Wait online, and we'll treat you like, you know, everyone who came before. And God bless you. Welcome to the American way. We are a mosaic, and it's our diversity that makes us great. But if you come in here improperly, should we look the other way? You know, no. And that's all I say, and I think I'm right. And even though I'm going to be excoriated by some editorialists out there, I think I'm going to stick with the people because they're going to stick with me. We're on the right side, and it's just a matter of enforcing the law. By now tying it back totally to what I can be doing as a governor. And I'm not going to be running this campaign regarding immigration or the terror trials. That's tangential stuff. It's really going to be 90% about the fiscal condition we find ourselves in. So when you're weighing your decision as to who you want to lead you for the next several years and really make the decisions that will change a generation, don't give anyone a pass. Don't settle. Make them talk about the tough things. Make them say things that might tick someone else off. Because what's the point of winning if you get there without a mandate?